Mr. North.
Hey guys, this is North back again with another video. Today's video, I'm just doing an updated version of my top 10 favorite incense fragrances. Now, these are not the best incense-based fragrances, but these are the 10, for the most part, that I still own, which means that I really love them. So let's go ahead and get it going. There are plenty of fragrances that have incense in them and give you this quote-unquote incense type of feel, but when I very first started this channel and started collecting fragrances, even before that, I became obsessed with the note of incense. Now, frankincense and myrrh, they are, you know, intertwined with religious practices in Christianity, even in Islam, in Hinduism, all types of, in Buddhism. So incense is very intricate in different religious practices, and I just love frankincense. I love myrrh and fragrances, and even here in Kuwait, you can go down to the souk and you can buy frankincense and myrrh. I do burn them as incense, more so than I would like different variations of Bakur smells. Sometimes I burn Bakur, but for the most part I'll burn just frankincense. I do prefer frankincense over myrrh, but I like burning those because they're all natural. So those are the type of fragrances that I sort of like gravitate to, and the ones that have this quote-unquote churchy incense type of feel. They do have a lot of similarities, and you can just smell them once you are familiar with them. So for me, for my incense list, the ones that I chose for the most part, I'd say maybe half and half. I'd have to see once we go through them, have this quote-unquote churchy type of feel or a Bakur type of feel. So let's go ahead and get it going. These won't be in any particular order. Maybe when I do another update on them, I'll go ahead and rank them, just because as of right now, like, the most expensive ones are at the top, and unfortunately, I don't think that that's sort of fair. So let's just go ahead and get through them and see which ones I still own. Even in the past, I had so many incense-based fragrances that I did a whole month. If you can look back at my channel, I did 30 days where I only wore incense-dominant fragrances, not just fragrances that had incense as a note, but incense-dominant fragrances, and these are 10 of them that are quote-unquote incense dominant. So let's start off with this first one. This one was one that, for me, encapsulated at the time what authentic frankincense, unburnt frankincense smells like, and this one is from the house of Diptyque. This one is called Trois. You cannot find this anymore in Kuwait. I did see it in Malaysia, so it is still available. It's not discontinued, but I did buy this one when I was in Kuwait. And this one just smells like unburnt frankincense. This is an old scent. Let me go ahead and get you the notes and the release date. Trois, if you could tell by the bottle, it being clear, not black on the sides, this is an eau de toilette concentration. And this one was actually released in 1975. I'm not sure when Diptyque started making fragrances. I assume around that time, because they originally started off as a candle company. This one has rosemary, myrtle, myrrh, spices, caraway, frankincense, myrrh, and pine tree. On Fragrantica it says Kyara incense. I don't know about that, but to me, again, this smells like unburnt frankincense. This is a great one. If you love the smell of frankincense, this is pretty much a must-have. Let's move on to the next one. Thinking about it, I'll try and actually pair some of them up that I think have some similarities. The next one is from the house of Elixir Attar, and this to me is like an upgraded version of this unburnt frankincense sort of smell. And this one again is from Elixir Attar, and this one is called Royal Luban. Luban is Arabic for frankincense. So if you go down to the market, you ask them for Luban, they will show you frankincense. Now, this one, Royal Luban, they said was released in 2018. And it's funny how they, this one and Trois, how they have these various notes, but they come together to make what I consider to be just simply the smell of unburnt frankincense. And this one has frankincense, saffron, gardenia, labdanum, vetiver, patchouli, and oud, it says. I don't get any of these other notes. To me, it's just a different version of this unburnt frankincense. It is more intense and deeper and stronger. These are this is an extrait. I liked it so much. It was my first purchase. I liked it so much that I got the oil of it. I didn't feel like bringing that one out. This is a 15 ml, and then I have a 5 ml of the oil. So this smells very similar to Trois. So if you're looking for really authentic frankincense smelling scents, these are the two that I think that you should go for sure. Moving on. Next up, I'm going to mention 2 more fragrances in this incense list that I think have some similarities. This one is a long discontinued fragrance. This was one of my first holy grail discontinued fragrances that I had to track down and pay a premium for. This one is called Sahara Noir from Tom Ford. Sahara Noir was released in 2013. This one has a labdanum, cypress, bitter orange, incense, beeswax, rose, vanilla, and oud as some of the notes. And this is a really great incense-based fragrance. Like, the hype on this one is real. When I blind bought this and paid a premium for it, it was probably more than I could have asked for. That's how much I really do like this scent. And so this is another great incense-based fragrance. Now we're done with frankincense. Now we're just getting into this, just incense as a general term, and also some of them are into that churchy incense, but just incense in general. And so this one is a great one. I love the beeswax note in it. So this one is Sahara Noir from Tom Ford. The other fragrance to me has a lot of similarities with Sahara Noir. So actually, funny enough, it's not a clone, but I think it just happens to be ironic that they to me they have similarities. That's just my opinion. And this one is again from Elixir Attar, and this one's called Sacred Incense. This is the 15 ml bottle. The cap on it is a little bit different, and this one Sacred Incense. It's funny, on Fragrantica there's only 8 votes and it has a 5 out of 5 rating. I actually haven't rated it. I haven't given it a heart sign or anything because I've barely worn it. Now let's look at some of the notes. It says it was released in 2018. I'm not sure if it was just released originally as an oil attar or if they were both released at the same time. So this one has frankincense, camphor, myrrh, opopanax, copal, which is another resin, labdanum, styrax, benzoin, and sandalwood. Now it doesn't, at least from the nozzle, it doesn't smell exactly like Sahara Noir. No, not at all. The opening is a little bit more like churchy incensey on this one. This one is a little bit more, the Sacred Incense is a little bit more just deep resonance from the nozzle, but when they dry down they do have a lot of similarities. So it can be a type of alternative, but obviously not a clone to it. Now I think this is a good incense-based fragrance. It's not one that I have a lot of familiarity with, but it's one that I recently got, so that's the reason why. But it does deserve to be on this list. Let's go ahead and keep it moving. Next up is from the house of Bvlgari. This is my favorite Bvlgari. When I first smelled this, I had to have it. Luckily I was able to find a tester bottle of it. This one's called Kobraa. This is from the Legime line. These are the older 100 ml bottles. If you buy it now, it has a plaque that has the name of the fragrance on it. This one, Bvlgari Kobraa, was released in 2020. All of them only list about 3 notes. This one has geranium, frankincense, and oud. I don't get much oud from it. This does give you this churchy frankincense type of feel, and the geranium gives you a little bit of a rose feel to it. It's a very simple fragrance, but it's one that really speaks to me. So this is one that I'll definitely keep in my collection. Let's move on. Next up is another discontinued fragrance. I only own 2 Tom Ford private line fragrances now. I got rid of all the other ones. Of those, the only one I wish that I still had is Tobacco Oud Intense. I wish I hadn't have sold that one. But this one is probably my favorite from the private line. And this one is called Vert Incense. So green incense. It's long discontinued. It's not one of the like coveted ones that everyone is looking for, but to me, it's my favorite one. And Vert d'Incense was released in 2016. This one, of course, has fir balsam. It has pine, incense, wood resin, heliotrope, and woodsy notes. This is what it says in the name, a green incense, and I really love this one a lot. It does have a little bit of sweetness to it, and I've been meaning to wear this one. I still have quite a bit of it left. Moving on. Next up is from the house of Abdul Qurashi. This is one of my top 3 from the brand. I pretty much only like 3 actual perfumes from the brand, fragrances. This one's called Brown Incense. This one is supposedly discontinued. They do have pink incense and white incense, also black incense. Black incense is pretty much the only one you can find like reviews of online. And I had sold this one to my friend thinking that I would be able to find it again, and then I wasn't able to find it. Come to find out, out of all 4 of them, only the brown incense was discontinued. But later on down the line, my friend actually gave it back to me, and then later one of the sales associates knew that I had been asking about that fragrance for some time, and 2 had popped up, so he sold them to me, and I sold one of them. Then I gave my friend back the one that I sold to him. And again, this is brown incense. I'm not going to read any of the notes from the website because I don't tend to find them that reliable. But this one to me smells like a different variation of Bakur that you can find in the Middle East. And I really love this scent. I think it's great. I do kind of need to wear it more. But brown incense is one to check out. You can still buy it at a decent price, but they're not making it anymore. Again, brown incense from Abdul Qurashi. For the last 3, these are the most expensive incense-based fragrances that I purchased, even though Bvlgari and this fragrance is about the same, but this one's only a 15 ml, and this is from the house of Stéphane Humbert Lucas. This one is called Oumma. I just recently wore this one. Oumma means like community in Arabic. To me, is the best fragrance that smells like a particular Bakur. Bakur just means incense, but a particular Bakur that's called Mahmoud Bakur. So if you've heard me talk about this, I mention that every time I talk about this fragrance, and this is like the best version of that encapsulated. Oumma was released in 2013. The notes on this one are rose, jasmine, tolu balsam, oud, cypriol oil, and cade oil. Now, some of the other reviews talk about it being a rose oud fragrance. Again, I don't get like this typical rose and oud. I don't get much oud from it. I just get this beautiful accord smell that smells exactly like Mahmoud Bakur. At the time when I purchased this one, I just had to have it. It was my most expensive fragrance at the time, and these last 2 will eclipse that. Let's keep it moving. Next up, we have the most expensive fragrance from the house of Diptyque, and this is a house out of Japan. This is a scent of distilled Kyara oud, which is an extremely expensive oud oil, and even agarwood chips. You can buy the oil here in Kuwait from Abdul Qurashi, for example, and to me it's not that much. I'd have to try it again, but I do have some Sosora oud and things like that. But this one is a perfume that uses Kyara oil, and it is very awesome, except for it's very expensive per milliliter. Again, this is Kyara, and this one was released in 2000. It's a 33 ml bottle. I don't know if you can see the name on the bottom, but all of them come in these 33 ml bottles. This one has rose, patchouli, the Kyara oud, and then it's supposed to have hinoki wood, which is the I guess sandalwood or wood or cedar wood from Japan. And this is just a great scent. Now, things are only worth what you're willing to pay for them. I wish it wasn't as expensive, but the price being high has to be indicative of how expensive it was for him to to make this fragrance, because the other fragrances that he makes besides the Sahara one are and then there's one other one that's like 500. They're in like the 200 range, 230, 250. I've seen a couple even less than that at retail. So this has to be indicative of, you know, the costliness of making this particular fragrance. And this is, to me, seems like it encapsulates what it would, you know, what Japanese incense is all about. And this is just a great scent. It was an awesome blind buy. So there you have it. Moving on to the last one. And the last one, if you don't already know, I call it the Dawn, but it is Dawn in English. In Arabic, it says the Dawn. And so Al Fajr. And this one was one that I regretted smelling. I had, I think, Promise or whatnot, and then I smelled the Night, and that was like oud, even though I own the Night now. But when I smelled this one, it just goes back to just my love of incense-based fragrances. This was just one that smelled different and of better quality than any of the other incense-based fragrances that I tried, but the price was just crazy. But I loved it so much. Now, Dawn was released in 2018. This one has, of course, rose, frankincense, oud, labdanum, vetiver, oak moss, cedar. It does say it has ambroxan in it and pink pepper. You do get a pepperiness from it, but you do get like this quote-unquote churchy incense feel from the frankincense. You do get a little bit of oud, a little bit of rose, but it's just all in all a top tier incense fragrance. So much so that I had bought the 50 ml at full price. I wanted it that much. I end up getting a deal on the 100 ml for significantly less than retail price. I believe 100 ml is like $1,600, and so I didn't pay anywhere near that. And I was able to sell my 50 ml bottle to get it, so it was worth it. I decanted 30 ml out of this. So to me, this is like top tier incense based fragrance. But there's so many great incense based fragrance. I've owned so many of them, but I just felt like it really wasn't worth having that many. Ones that I've gotten rid of are awesome, so many of them. So for example, there's a lot of them that are out of the Armani Privé line, the most recent one being Sablé Nuit. That one was awesome. I put it at the top of my list, but I ended up giving that one to my little brother because he got into incense fragrances as well. Tell me what some of your favorite incense fragrances are. These are the 10 that I still own. So for me, these are my top 10s. Tell me some of your top 10 favorite incense based fragrances. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.